Hey everybody, welcome back to Is Your Six Covered. Appreciate you showing up as always. Today we're going to talk about some shooting mats. We're going to talk about 4 different types, different price points, and what the differences are. Today we're going to talk with X-Ring as well, get some insight on the stuff that he's used. I went out and purchased this new one from Bob Allen Tactical, and we'll see how it compares. This one's $59.99. And we'll see. We got some great top-of-the-line stuff here for Voodoo Tactical, Blackhawk, and Creedmoor Sports. Kind of see what the pluses and minuses are, because there is pluses and minuses between not just cost, but extra gizmo gadgets that are attached to it that we may use or may not even ever use when we're out there. So stand by. All right, Ray. Well, welcome. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I am. So I bought this mat just for the fact that we've been doing a lot of prone shooting lately.
Yep.
And basically, I'm a beginner. I've been trying to learn from you. And I went out just to get a little more comfortable, have something to lay on the ground with. And I noticed that we put all these together and there's a lot of differences.
Yeah. And I've covered a couple of the packable shooting mats in a video or two. But I've got a slew of them because I've been shooting for a while, and the very first mat that I ever got was this one right here. So this one was one that was made by Creedmoor.
$82.
It was about $82 or so, and I've had this since 1990, so it has withstood the test of time.
You can tell you used it a lot.
Yeah, you can see rust, blood, everything else, and it's got this rubber texture up on top, and it was for positional shooting. This was set up for a right-handed shooter, so your left elbow is going to go here, right elbow here, and then usually a knee placement here. It keeps you from sliding. Very, very simple design. There's not a lot of padding. There's enough so that when you're going into prone or something like that, you're not banging your knee and everything else. But literally, it just rolls up, and it had a little carry handle here, just like that. And this used to have metal grommets. And those are long gone, and so I just stuck some 550 cord in here, and basically I just do a little loop, grab it up, and it's good to go.
Well, from this one, which was your next purchase?
Well, let's finish on this one. Now, the bad thing about this is if it starts to rain or it gets wet, it soaks through here pretty quickly. Yeah. It's been a great mat, and it's great when I have other guys that are shooting and they just need a mat. It just keeps all that crap off of you. But good mat, withstood the test of time, about $80. All right. The next mat I bought was this one, and this is very, very similar to your Bob Allen Tactical that you bought, and I was really surprised. It was almost like they copied the Blackhawk on this. Now, this one I got when it first came out. It's been a long time. This one was probably, I would think, maybe 2000 or so. But it's very well built, almost everything on it. And guys, I used this the other day when we were shooting the mile shot.
Still wet.
And it was raining, it was wet, and you guys are going to see bird feathers and everything else here. It just keeps all that junk off of you.
This was about 120 bucks?
Yeah, this is about $120. It used to be a little more, but they've come down in price. But this has a full texture here. It's a full-length mat. And then it's got this large pocket here. So you've got 2 Velcro pockets, and this actually goes all the way through. So it's for whatever you want to put in here. A roll. I've placed empty ammo casings in here before, whatnot. But this one's always worked really, really well. One of the things that I noticed of this over the Bob Allen is that this one came with metal D-rings. Also, the shoulder strap has metal buckles. This doesn't. This Bob Allen has plastic. We'll get into that in just a minute. But basically, you can adjust these. These snap around, and then you've got the quick release, just the snaps here, and you've got 3 of them. This one's been pretty well, and it takes a little longer for water to permeate this one than it does the Creedmoor, and the padding is a little better than what was on the Creedmoor. So that's this one. Now, the last one that I actually won this in 2014. Voodoo Tactical is one of the sponsors for the match. You can see it's kind of a wing design. It was the
definitely wider.
Definitely wider. Advanced shooter's mat.
And it has on the top.
Full rubber texturing here on the wings, also in the center. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then also it has a pocket here with places for pens, notes, whatever. I think there's some empty shell casings in there.
Dope cards.
Molly attachments. And this was really cool. It's a really neat design, especially the way they did these wings. And this one it has the most padding of all the mats.
It's definitely heavier though too.
It is definitely heavier. And right here in the middle, you'll see there's no cushioning. It's where it folds. So there's no cushioning along this seam here, and this is the first place water starts to come up. So you'll see water spots here when you lay down on wet grass or something. But my biggest complaint with this, and I've never called Voodoo on this. I mean, if I would have, I'm sure they would have sent me the replacement parts because they're good people. I met the guy that actually started the company. All the buckle enclosures are okay, but they didn't sew these in, and maybe that was to be able to replace them. Literally within the first week, these came off and I lost them, and I have no way of attaching these. Now, I did end up going to an outdoor store and just finding new buckles, so it wasn't too hard to do. But even so, unless you're doubling over, if you can get them in here to double them over, yeah, those are the first things to get lost.
I can see that being the reason, though, to replace them.
Yeah, probably so. It does make it quick and easy to replace, but then you got to find the right size. And see, the problem is they didn't make this side, the female connector, they didn't make this replaceable. So I actually had to make a couple different stops or take this mat in with me to find one that actually snapped into this. And it's still not quite right. You can hear it. Yeah, it's you know, the first couple ones, actually it's not engaged. You see? See those wings aren't engaged all the way out? So that was my biggest complaint with this mat, was these stupid things right here. I mean, I lost them on this, lost them on that, and I think they could have thought that out a little better, but a good solid mat.
Now, what was the mat we used where you would mount your bipod? It had straps.
That was the one that was packable. I did a full review on that. That's over there.
That's a different one.
Grab it because that's really a lightweight tactical mat that would go to your pack. We call them bird feathers.
All right, so we looked at some that were 120 bucks. Two of them, the Blackhawk, the Voodoo Tactical. We looked at the first one that you saw, the Creedmoor, around 82 bucks. This one I got at Field and Stream, $59.99. Let's go over it and see what he thinks. He kind of touched on the plastic buckles, but for the daytime, you know, a beginner guy that doesn't have anything, you know, tell me what you think.
Okay, so this is the first time I've seen this mat other than him pulling it out of the truck. I will tell you, it looks like they modeled it after the Blackhawk, almost identical in every way, shape, and form. The rubber, everything. The only thing this thing lacks was that little pocket up in the front. But other than that, you know, for $60 at exactly half the cost, this is a good way to go. Now, we don't have one here, but I've had some friends that have bought them. You know, Midway makes a mat that's got a little less padding, and I think you can get it for like $35 or so. You know, if you get into long range shooting, or you're going to do a lot of prone shooting, or if you're trying to, you know, you're going to spend a lot of time on your belly or on the ground, get you a mat. I mean, it makes the day a lot more enjoyable, and you're not wearing that stuff back into your vehicle. But honestly, I'm pretty impressed with this. I mean, Bob Allen did a good job with it. You know, why not copy?
Seems to be full size.
Yeah, the other thing, here's something I've learned over the years. You see how they rolled this one up from the factory? The problem is when you do this and you lay down, every time you roll it up, it kind of rolls back. So what I usually do is when I get a mat, I'll fold it first and then roll it. And so it'll still try to do it, but not as badly.
You have a big piece.
Correct. Yeah. You have a big piece.
And you'll be on all that.
Yeah. And you're always tripping over them and everything else. You can just try to get them to lay flat. But, you know, this one is made in China, of course. So this feels like it's got more padding than the Blackhawk, but then again, the Blackhawk's been used a lot, so maybe that foam does break down over time. You know, we've used everything from just packing foam to you name it for whatever, but
70% polyester, 30% foam.
There you go. And then the other thing is if you ever shoot in the rain or anything like that, hang them up to dry, otherwise they're going to get pretty stinky on you. I've never tried to wash one of these. If I wash them, I'll just spray them off outside or take them to a car wash and then just let them sit in the sun for a while, a couple days.
I think the best part is just being off the dirt.
Yeah, it is.
Or when we're in Clinton House, off the wood.
Yeah.
A little padding. But
no, shooting mat makes it a lot better experience, especially, you know, just take your elbow and put it down on a wooden table or something. If you're on, let's say, a shooting platform or something, and you're doing that all day, it just starts to wear on you. If you've got this padding here, it just makes a big difference. And honestly, for $60, it's just a pretty good deal. I always take these shoulder straps off. I always just grab the carry handle. I don't like stuff that grabs all the time.
So there you go. That is basically the quick review, and hopefully this video helps you out if you're looking at getting a shooting mat, because we pretty much got from top of the line all the way down. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in between and below it and above it probably, but this should help. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you go over to X-Ring because he doesn't have enough subscribers.
Go
Give
over
him a
to
channel.
He's covered.
See you guys on the next one.
Take care. Have a good one.
Bye.